They're not, like...
No, it's not the worst thing ever. No, it's sweet. I mean, if I had to be in there,
Welcome back to the Pickup, Stab and Van's weekly show covering everything that happens in Hawaii for the Vans Triple Crown of Surfing. My name is Danny Johnson and I'm joined here with my co-hosts Holly Warren and Hazzy B. If you missed last week's episode, then you might have also missed the huge news that for the first time ever, the Vans Triple Crown of Surfing has gone digital.
Digital. No clocks, no buzzers. All the surfers have to do is catch 2 waves at Pipe, 2 waves at Sunset and 2 waves at Haleiwa and upload them to the vanstriplecrownofsurfing.com.
Let's see what's happened in Hawaii since our last episode. This is 7 notable things from the past week. They're not all highlights, they're not all lowlights, it's just 7 things. Number 1, North Shore lifeguards not only doing their bit to save lives, but also bombing some pipeline sets on the ski to film some additional angles. Number 2, as you might have noticed in the last clip, gaffs are back in a big way. This Hawaii winter, we've seen more helmets than ever before. And Koa Smith was actually looking a little Mad Max with his spiky setup.
how's he getting that man bun inside his gaff helmet? That's what I want to know. Has he got a little additional man bun gaff?
Number 3, it's no wonder gaffs are back because pipe is gnarly. And you can tell just by the amount of people that are just falling out of the lip on that last swell.
That Noah Beshan one, he actually, if he had a parachute on his back, he would have had time to pull it. Probably could have got out of there and got a lift back to his house.
Number 4, that's not all that can go wrong, as Robert Griho learned. Even something as simple as straightening out in the Hawaiian power can be pretty tricky.
Bang, bang, bang.
Number 5, Nathan Florence's takeoff is sabotaged with a splash in the face from his older brother. Number 6, John has been dropped in on again. And he also, to celebrate, just somehow pulls into a tube that doesn't exist and then makes it out.
Let's give John a break. Why is everyone fading him? He just won the Pipe Masters.
I know.
He just had this huge heroic comeback.
And what about that crazy and air reverse that John did today?
Yeah, that was unbelievable. The backwash just into orbit.
It's a chop hop. It's a chop hop on a backwash. Yeah,
But it was a good chop hop.
yeah. That was unreal chop hop. I do love the brotherly rivalry that's happening, and that's why I reckon Ivan's getting so good at surfing so quick. It feels like they're really revving each other up lately.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, Haz, because number 7 is the youngest Florence brother, Ivan, and this ankle breaker alley-oop into the flats. And a bonus, number 8, Josh Bogle is the first ever adaptive surfer to enter the Vans Triple Crown. Look at these takeoffs and just heavy beatdowns.
For a guy that doesn't have all his limbs intact, but still so confident out in the water. I've got a few mates with all their limbs intact, but are still petrified of heavy Hawaiian oceans.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
And then one more bonus, number 9, we have Santa's little helper, Mason Ho, turning into Satan's little helper, the Grinch.
Oh, Grinch, how's that mask? Where'd you get that thing?
I don't know. Is it a mask?
Our first kitten this week is Al Cleland, who is taking the digital Triple Crown a little too literally, I think. He's just with the editing, I feel like he's gone too digital.
I thought my phone was breaking when I was watching the edit.
And our next kitten is Luke Swanson, who looks like he's been using soap for wax.
Everybody slips off. You slipped off, Danny.
I never slip off. And our lines this week, first up we've got Seth Moniz for this perfectly threaded bomb. Maybe the best wave of the winter so far.
Little guy, big heart, big energy.
And our next line is Baby Steve, who's only 12 years old and definitely someone who will be contending in the Vans Triple Crown when he's old enough. Check out this bomb at Jaws.
He's the biggest baby I've ever seen. I thought we were introducing an actual baby. He's huge. He's 12 years old.
He's 12 years old, but compared to that Jaws wave, he looks...
He looks like a baby on that big wave.
Yeah. Next up is Koa Smith for this late night drop into pipe, double up, just lift in the head, but still an amazing effort. How much force is coming down with that pipeline lip?
Lots of cubic meters of water coming down on the back of that bun.
I'm surprised he's still got it.
Does he still have a man bun?
He's got to have it.
And our last line is Betty Lou Sakura for this justified drop-in at Haleiwa.
I've got a clip of her bird and Schuler from yesterday.
Oh, you paddled right around me.
Does a snake justify a drop-in?
Shit, yeah, every time.
If I would have dropped in on every person that would have snaked me, I'd be a busy man.
You'd be catching a lot of waves.
I would be, yeah.
What's Haleiwa like to surf?
It's just like a big rip bowl, essentially. But it's a lot to deal with, really.
It's always moving. It's like it's always like moving away from you. I reckon you're constantly getting sucked out to sea. So you're trying to fight to paddle in.
Or
But
like
then,
out.
yeah, but then when the sets are coming, they're like, you think you're going to get them on the head, so then you paddle out, but then they break on the inside, then you're out to sea.
Yeah, right. Sounds like a nightmare.
It's nightmare.
Paddle power. It's everything.
Do you reckon it's all about paddling?
I reckon everywhere in Hawaii is about paddle power.
Yeah.
Or board size.
Yeah.
You opt them out. I always opt for board size.
Haleiwa's a wave, you want a big board to get into the wave, but as soon as you get into the wave, you want to...
Surely Mikey's in his bunker over there. He's got something to say about Haleiwa.
sweating in his little dungeon.
Sadly not, gang. I recently heard some distressing news and had to leave the safety of my bunker to sort it out. As it turns out, Ashton Goggins pulled a sneaky one and signed up for the Vans Triple Crown when nobody was looking. We've got to applaud Vans for creating a truly inclusive platform, but really? I see it as my personal goal to make sure that Ashton receives his rightful place of dead last in the Vans Triple Crown. So I pulled a few strings and signed up for the event myself. That's why I'm heading across the great American continent right now on my way to Hawaii to make sure that I can go there and put his beanied head in the sand. Ashton's got a few waves under his belt already, so I'm gonna have some work to do at Haleiwa, Sunset, and Pipeline. But first, I gotta find some shelter for the night.
So who's your money on? Ashton or Mikey?
I don't know. Who's your money on?
I reckon Mikey's got him.
Oh, there's no way Ashton can surf better than Mikey.
Nah, not a chance in
Mikey's
hell.
pretty good.
Ashton's actually got to paddle out.
Other than a few hours on Christmas Eve when pipe turned on, it's been pretty quiet over in Hawaii. So let's catch up with Nate and some of the Triple Crown contestants to see what they get up to on the small days.
I've been here with Wyatt McHale, staying at his house. Every year I come here, hit him up. Hey, can I stay at your house? He's like, yup. Thank you.
I've been here like 3 months strong, no sign of heading home.
Mm-hmm.
Here for 3 months.
Yeah. Yep. Explain it, brother.
Some fun waves, like head high. We're gonna meet up Lil Al and Nathan and go down to Off the Wall. Heard it's pretty fun, so a couple sandbar.
Go have some fun. Get ready for the digital Van Surf Triple Crown.
Some sandbar, Pupukea, Off the Wall, Insanity. Just some lay day, no competition, no Triple Crown. Surf with the Groms. Maybe rotate. I don't know.
Yeah.
Try and do something abnormal.
There's also fan voting this year at www.vanstriplecrownofsurfing.com, where us, the people, get to have our say on who wins this thing. And so, based on what we've seen so far, who do you think's winning this thing?
From what I've seen, I feel like Billy Kemper's doing pretty well. He's got one wave at Pipe, one wave at Haleiwa in there.
Yeah, there's a swell coming, but there's only like 19 days left.
Not to mention, according to the Digital Vans Triple Crown official handbook, surfers have to submit their clips within 1 day of them being filmed. Now that I've found shelter, I can break down the rules to their fullest extent. So listen up, Goggins. I don't want you complaining about losing on a technicality.
Over the line!
Huh? Rule number 1. The first 2 rides you submit for each of the 3 locations, Haleiwa, Sunset, and Pipe, must be uploaded by 8 p.m. Hawaii time the next day. For example, if you ride an epic wave at Pipe today that you want to submit to the contest, you have to submit it by 8 p.m. tomorrow. But don't worry, Seth Muniz. Your AIS pipe bomb was not for naught. Here's rule number 2. Once you've posted your top 2 rides at each of the 3 locations, you're able to make 4 swaps at each location at any time before 11:59 Hawaii time on January 15th, 2021. These swaps can consist of waves surfed at any time during the event window. So if you failed to upload a good wave early on, you could submit it as a swap once your first 2 rides at that location have been surfed. And who doesn't love a good loophole? Well, besides Ashton's belt, but that's another story. Back to you guys.
Next up, we're going to meet up with another entrant into the Vans Triple Crown of Surfing, Leah Dawson. Leah has been part of the Triple Crown for the past 12 years as part of the production team, but this year, with the new digital format, she'll be a contestant for the first time. We caught up with Leah to find out more about what she'll be riding and who she'll be surfing for in the event.
My first Triple Crown was in 2008. I was working as a production assistant, and then they needed like a roving camera operator, and I was like, put me in, coach. And then next year, I got a job as an action camera operator. So since 2009, I've been filming the Triple Crown up until this year. Yeah, I love that there's a charity component to this year's Triple Crown because it has special meaning for me because if I do end up somehow doing well, I have a foundation that I have with a group of friends called Changing Tides Foundation, and we actually have a program on the North Shore called the Community Compost Movement. The soil goes through these 2 sifters with volunteer hands like rubbing it all through. It takes hours and hours of work to harvest all this gold, but it's for anyone that does it, it's like therapy, honestly. Like having your hands in the dirt and your feet in the dirt and maybe some mud on your face is a really good feeling. And then once a week we pick it up, we weigh it so that we keep track of how much carbon each person is, or each home is offsetting with the food waste, and it comes out into really nice smelling, beautiful food gold that, you know, soil degradation is a massively growing issue that we have all over the planet. And this is an answer. It is that compost is a very palpable solution and a very active solution that if we can get it popular amongst communities, then we can get it passed through legislation to the point where policy actually supports the compost, which is going to be the way that we're going to make major change across the board. Can show, hey, this can be a way that works. Like, you can make money. You don't have to burn all of this food waste, or you don't have to like throw it all into full landfills already where it rots and releases methane. But instead, like, literally you can have gold out of the food that you would otherwise throw away. And it feels good when you're not throwing away food, right? Yeah. Changing Tides Foundation mission is to empower women to protect the planet. And that means by supporting each other emotionally, creating opportunities for each other, speaking about equality, and supporting ideas that women are not only equal, but they're necessary to our transition into a future where we're respecting the earth. Like, it is in this rise of nurturing that we're going to see the future of tomorrow. This is White Lightning, a 7.0 off of an old template of Alex's dad's from the 70s. Probably my favorite, most prized possession I've ever had in my life. The first bolt that Alex has put on a board, and he used one of his dad's old templates to make it, and it came out so cherry. I don't know how wide, but my gauge is always like how well they fit under my arm, and this one has a little bit of space, so I'd say it's probably around 19. Pretty narrow, but I think it's a lot easier to have like a little bit of scoop in the nose, so it has a little bit more forgiveness when you're taking off real steep and you want it to catch. Alex has like a really nice blend of his dad's influence, but also bringing in his own modern take on it and what he likes to ride and what he likes to feel. This thing likes to go really fast, and those high lines, those dreamy high lines, like 4-second bottom turns and 3-second high lines. If there's any maneuver that I want to do, it's that. This one is a really special board because our friend Thomas Campbell put some amazing faces on it, and I learned a new word because of this. Pareidolia. It means to see things in things. This one is 6'4". I'll probably ride this one at like smaller sunset. This one's name is Pinky, for obvious reasons. It's 5'7" and kind of like this really old school outline and old school rails, really thick body, so it paddles a lot bigger than it is. But I'll ride this thing at Pump and Haleiwa and maybe a small day at Backdoor. That's the dream. We'll see.
To close it out, let's see what life looks like here in Australia for a couple of groms that couldn't make the yearly Hawaiian pilgrimage, Kais King and Rasmus King. Haz, do you want to go and see them?
I can go check up on the Kings.
Yeah.
Now?
Now.
All right, guys. See you later.
All right.
See ya.
That's all we have for this week. Holly, any last words?
Just have a happy new year, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
All right, guys, we're at the King residence at the back of Byron Bay. Usually these two would be in Hawaii right now, surfing bloody 5 times a day, but they're back here in Byron Bay, chilling over the festive season. Let's see how they've been burning off some steam. How's the Playboy curtains? Pretty good, eh?
So good.
Far out. And this is your drum kit, Rash?
Yeah.
Plastic one, mate.
Yeah,
Hot flyer.
That's fine, mate. And then that's an AB right there.
Oh,
A
really?
legit one. I found it in Newey for $200.
What a
Kelly
ball.
actually wanted to buy that off me.
Did he?
Yeah.
Don't
No,
let a goat buy
no
it.
way.
No way, mate. Not a goat board. Not for sale, goat.
That's like a non-pawn.
Fucking